Well, welcome back, everyone, to our daily devotion. It's always a joy to be with you. We've titled today's installment, Counterfeit Christianity. We'll explain. See, according to the United States Department of Treasury, an estimated 70 million in counterfeit bills is in circulation. Now, that's a lot of bogus dough that's out there. However, fraudulent money isn't the only significant concern right now. Fake believers are floating around as well. Now, you could call this expression of faith counterfeit Christianity. In this warped belief system, people's conduct and their creeds do not correspond. Jesus labeled such behavior as hypocritical. In fact, a number of Jesus's teachings center and have to deal with combating the heart issue of hypocrisy. Now, the Sermon on the Mount, right at the heart of it, Jesus touched very clearly on this topic. Look what it says in Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 through 4. Jesus said, "Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets, as the hypocrites do in the synagogue and on the streets, to be honored by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full." Verse 3, "But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret, that your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you." Now, notice right off the top, Jesus denounces those who seek to promote themselves. That's not a part of Jesus' seminary. We must remember that when we study the Gospels. The Lord said, "Do not let your left hand know what the right hand is doing." Now, today, we have people actually going far beyond those parameters. We have people letting the whole world know what they're doing, because as I've said before, no good deed goes unposted on social media. Everybody wants a hashtag every little good they do. What we have forgotten is that anything that we do to serve the Lord is just that, for Him, for His glory. Now, if people recognize that along the way, well, so be it. Let it happen naturally. But we do what we do for the glory of God. And when we lose sight of that, well, all bets are off on how we act toward the Lord and even to other people. And so these egotistical actions of letting everybody know what we're doing and wanting to be noticed, we might have a passion to want to help out and to serve. That's a good thing. But we always got to ask ourselves the question, why are we doing it? There's a difference. And if it's about our own ego, well, we're going to succumb to the pressures that come along with that. And so Jesus doesn't support that. And so these egotistical actions represent someone that's fake and draws further concern for them being a counterfeit Christian. Now, a common distraction of counterfeit Christians is their appetite for attention. That's a big problem. They crave recognition, titles, and exposure. And if they don't get what they want through like an honorable process and protocols that might be in place within a church or an organization, they will become self-proclaimed leaders. And sadly, spiritually illiterate people who aren't grounded in the Word of God will follow them. Much like a cult leader when they amass a following. Listen, people look, oh, look at this crowd, look at that crowd. Remember, Hitler had big crowds too. How'd that work out? We must be willing to confront this issue of hypocrisy. See, typically, these gatherings of people that want to come together all have the same goal in mind, which is to pet and stroke their own ego. And they think that they might be like some type of church group, but they're really a cult group, okay? Really, when you look at cults and you study them, which I have, at the heart of the cult is ego. It's because it's of the devil to act like this. Remember the 5 I wills of Satan in the Old Testament? I will ascend above the throne of the Most High God. You know, when you go down the road of hypocrisy and you are craving to be noticed and have attention, you're not reflecting Jesus, you're reflecting the enemy, the devil. Okay, so you don't want to be in that company. So at all costs, you want to avoid associating with people who carry themselves in that manner. Likewise, you want to examine yourself and address any attitude issue that you might have in your heart. Because newsflash, none of us are above this. So we must have that John the Baptist mentality. In fact, you know what? We got to do a devotion on this in the coming weeks. John the Baptist had the great example for that when he said, "He must increase and I must decrease." That's the mentality that all believers need to have. And so don't give in to your ego, and certainly don't give your ego an inch. As I've said before in Sunday messages, ego stands for edging God out. And you don't want God out of your life. I know nobody would say they want that. Well, it just doesn't happen. When we make decisions that push God out, well, then that's what takes place. So you don't want to be a counterfeit Christian. Therefore, let us be humble. Let us seek to honor the Lord and to be helpful to others in everything we do. There is no room in the church for counterfeit Christians. Too much is at stake right now. And so again, let it be said of you and I that we're focused on honoring the Lord, being helpful, and remaining humble. May God bless you, and may He give us all the strength to be genuine believers. God bless you.